With the times changing, obviously technology changes everything. And when technology changes things, you start realizing that will it hamper or will it support my vision, my thoughts, or my daily commute for that matter? The director of EV charging solutions of Powertech Mobility and CEO of Powertech Group of Companies, Arthi Srinivasan, joins us today to have conversations about EVs and how important they are for the industry. Arthi, welcome to TSB.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Neil.
Arthi, first up, whenever you talk about EVs, the first thought that comes into your mind is that I just hope that the batteries don't die on me while I'm driving and while I'm going to Fujairah for that matter. Can you please
Mhm.
take that fear out of my mind?
Yes, I think a couple of years ago I would have felt the same way as well. But there's been a lot of development of charging infrastructure along the route of the national highway, as well as different properties across the Northern Emirates. Hotel properties offer charging for guests as well as residents. So I think the range anxiety is gradually reducing.
Yeah, when you say the anxiety is reducing, obviously, there has to be a lot of infrastructural development, like which has already started to work upon, which like every maybe say a kilometer, 2 kilometers, or 3 kilometers. Today we see a gas station. Even if you have to go drive down all the way to say Oman or Saudi Arabia for that matter from UAE, you know that after a certain number of kilometers, even on expressways and stuff, you will get gas stations, but that thought hasn't been percolated yet. So while the infrastructure is being built, a certain amount of communication, a certain amount of advertisements will also be required to let people know that, listen, you don't need to be scared.
Yes, absolutely. I think globally, all of us are moving in the same direction,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and each market is trying to have a standardized platform that basically offers the consumer, such as yourself or myself, a platform where we can see all the charge points across our route.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different technologies which are coming up from the software side, which pick up on roaming technology of the chargers, and through GPS positioning, they're able to pick up the different chargers along a
Wow.
particular route
Mm-hmm.
and position them on an app. This technology is evolving in some markets. It's slowly picking up in other markets. We're waiting for the infrastructure to really become more and more available so that this technology becomes more relevant.
You mentioned that it's picking up in some of the markets and then probably picking up better in some of the other more forward thinking markets. Would you tell us this? How is the MENA region positioned as compared to some of the other markets that is transitioning to EVs?
I can say that as far as the MENA is concerned, UAE is definitely better positioned
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the infrastructure. I think we started way back in 2015 with a lot of initiatives across different government entities in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, as well as by the Northern Emirates,
Uh-huh.
FEVA, for example.
Right.
So I think Viva, Masdar, Favor, they were the first movers to really start the discussion on electrification.
Mm-hmm.
And as of now, I think we are better positioned in terms of within the city. We can definitely see that the charging infrastructure has really picked up. There are many chargers for public users as well.
With the advantages that you have when you work with government organizations is that it does simplify processes, but I'm sure that there are certain amount of challenges that would be coming in when you're building an infrastructure for the EVs in this region. What could be some of those challenges?
I think power is really a universal challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about energy availability or spare loads at different locations. This tends to be a challenge when, let's say, an operator is looking at a bigger hub. where they're looking at providing multiple fast and ultra fast charging stations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is not a challenge that we cannot overcome. I
Right.
think collectively, the country is really moving forward, setting up hubs in different cities in the UAE.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, power, making spare power available, or we're connected to the grid, so tapping into the grid for huge spare loads tends to be a challenge. Yeah.
I can totally imagine, because there is a certain amount of calculation that will have to be done, just like the orthodox gas stations do, where they have to fill in their coffers, fill in their tanks, and stay ready for probably an overload of vehicles, maybe on over the weekends, or probably over say the long holidays. When you look at it from a customer standpoint, a user standpoint, how easy will it become in times to come, when it comes to come in and charging an EV? Because when I have to go and fill my tank at a gas station, it's a matter of 15 minutes max, including the wait time to fill my tank, and off I'm outdone. As we are speaking today, I'll probably have to charge my car for a few hours before I get going on the roads all over again.
Not really. We're talking about fast and ultra fast charging stations,
Mm-hmm.
where we're looking at a charging duration of a couple of minutes. It will still be a very quick charging experience, seamless for the user, because charging hubs are similar to petrol stations, but they allow for the user or the EV owner to spend a little bit more time than you would in a petrol station, where you can fill up your tank in maybe 5 minutes or so, and you may want to park the car, maybe use the supermarket, restroom, etc.
Mm-hmm.
In EV, I think the range of services available around the charging station would be a little bit more extensive, where a consumer might have an option to choose from a slow charge to a fast charge, and they may want to spend their time maybe at workstation, in the forecourt or something like that. So I think this is something that is a very interesting concept to look at, to provide the user a completely seamless experience. Let's say incentivizing them or rewarding them for opting for an electric car.
This is incredible. The moment you say that incentivization of the customers for using EV, a much cleaner fuel option. Are there any current incentives that are planned for someone who could or would want to move to or transition out from the standard fuel cars to go to an EV?
Honestly, I think the biggest incentive for all of us is, we're contributing to an emission-free experience for everyone on the road. As you can see, more buses or even passenger cars, but also taxis and buses electrify, adding electric vehicles to their fleet. What we're seeing on the roads is, there is that much more reduction in carbon emissions, making it, a lot more cleaner air for all of us to breathe.
No, that's amazing. Arthi, thank you so much for your time, for chatting up with us. You are, ensuring that we breathe clean. The generation that comes up next breathes clean. More power to you, no pun intended. The Director of EV Charging Solutions of Powertech Mobility and CEO Powertech Group of Companies, Arthi Srinivasan, joining us on TSB. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.